No one found solutions for the problems that Tyler Lewis detected 15 years ago. 15 years ago. And no one found solutions for the problems that Hannah Giorgis detected in 2017. But it's okay because I'm here now. I'm here now with the solutions because we are problem solvers. Mr. Songz showed us that we should attack the problems, and he showed us that we should be overachievers. Okay, we must overachieve. So let me just say again, I love Dr. Taylor, I love Mr. Songz, and we are in this musical world with them, and we are solving this problem as a musical family. Okay, so I'm not trying to be rude and I'm not being disrespectful, okay? I greatly honor and respect Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz, right? They spent 20 years talking about whatever they want to talk to us about in the music. So now they should listen to the other side of this musical family just for a few minutes, okay? And who taught us not to accept status quo life, but to fight for everything that we want? Okay. I'm doing for him and Dr. Taylor what they did for me all those years ago, despite where we come from, okay? Okay? In doing my due diligence, I owe them solutions so they can be more legendary. You don't need to feel bad, okay? Because this is how we're going to push forward. This is how they're going to be more legendary. This is how their music is going to overtake the world. This is how they're going to stay on top of the world. And this is how they're going to soothe our soul. This is how they will continue to be our examples, okay? To be examples to us at the bottom of the world, okay? Don't be emotional. Don't be emotional. This is a strategy. And he taught us that we should attack the problems, okay? And be problem solvers. We love them, and I'm doing this out of love. And that's why I invested my time and effort and low hemoglobin and low ATP energy in attacking the problems. Okay. This is rough. This is a rough draft. This is rough in terms of content and also rough in terms of how I'm laying it out because I just write and I write, okay? It's not refined. I did not edit it because I don't have strength, okay? But pay attention to the solutions. Pay attention to the solutions. I know this is going to work for us all so we can get music that we enjoy. And they can continue to grow as musicians, right? Right. Okay. On the My Moment episodes, he said, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was like, if you're not going to do it to the best of your ability, you might as well go home. I think that's what he said. Does it hurt? Does it hurt? Let me give you your own words back to you. That's how it feels, and that's how much it hurts when we hear your voice and you say nonsense to us. It really hurts. It's not easy being a fan of someone with musicality like this. Do you see how much of work it takes? How much I have to fight for more exquisite music? Have to fight, okay? We didn't come this far just to stay in this musical cubicle, all right? We have a lot more to do. So the overarching problem is that their musicality is too great to be contained in any kind of capacity, right? Their musicality is too great and complex, and no one understands it besides us now because I'm explaining what's going on here, okay? I showed you all of their musical behavior throughout this video. So he's only going to cook what he likes. He's not going to cook what we like to eat, which is very unfair because we know he can cook the things we like to eat. All right? In other words, the solutions that I propose for us takes into consideration his musicality. I make provision for that because we are loving and understanding people and we respect our artist, okay? We respect the musicality. We are not getting what we need from him as fans, and we can deal with that problem. We can break him out of this musical cubicle and get him out the matrix. And I'll show you how to do that, right? I'm not attacking the music. I'm not attacking my artist, okay? He is the example. I'm just saying as listeners, this is what we want to hear from them. And I know that Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz work really, really hard. And I want my connection to the music to be there again. I want their efforts to pay off globally and massively, right? And personally, I'm lost without their music. They work really, really hard, but hard work is not as effective when the system doesn't work. And we know that their current system of doing things is not working because they are not billionaires yet. And we don't have the music I expected us to have yet, right? All the things they are supposed to have by now, they do not have. So I'm trying to create a new system here that works. So they get what they need to get out of their careers and we get the music we need to get out of them, all right? Let's go through it now. So I had to figure out how we can make this work by still taking their musicality into consideration and focusing on the listener experience. And this is by placing a demand for 30% of their time, effort, ATP energy, intentionality, and musicality into creating what we want to listen to. 30%, okay? Mr. Songz and Dr. Taylor can keep 70%. They can keep 70% for expressing their own musicality. I don't think we can ask for more than 30% right now because they still need to get used to implementing this new listener-focused approach. They still need to get used to it. So we can only ask for 30% now. And the way their musicality is, they'll be frustrated if we ask for more. So in this way, they won't be frustrated and they won't frustrate us in the music. So the listeners and the musicians both win, right? So 30% time, effort, ATP energy, intentionality, and musicality into creating what we want to listen to. Okay? Okay. Problem number 1. They write from a place of realism, right? So they write realism and their own perspective only. This means that listener experience comes secondary by default. Automatically, the listener-focused lyrics are not there, okay? So we've seen that they can write across themes and in various perspectives from the previous music, all right? So the solution here is 30% time, effort, ATP, energy, intentionality to the listener and what the listener wants to hear in the lyrics, in the messages, in the genres we like, according to the sounds we like, and the themes that we like, right? 30%. They can keep 70% for their own self-musicality and to write from realism and their own perspective because they like that, okay? So they can do that. We just need 30%. So that means if we implement the solution, the music will meet us where we are again. We can be gathered as fans again. And I've shown you from the listener comments, we don't want to stop being fans. We just want to feel connected to the music again. Like this way, they'll be talking to us in the music. They won't be talking at us. they'll be talking to us, okay? In our 30%, they will talk to us and about us only in our 30%. So we can meet them in the music. We have something in common with the music if they do this, right? We can be drawn to the music now. 30% of time, ATP, energy, effort, intentionality for a global community of girls and dudes with the hood stuff, underdog stuff, the encouragement they're going to give us in the music. So you see the appeal. You see the appeal if they do this for us. Okay. Problem number two. Problem number two is that they're staying in one genre recently, right? We've seen that this is not the only genre they can make music in, right? So the solution is 30% of this time, effort, ATP, energy, intentionality towards the listener will give us 2 to 4 quality listener-focused songs a month, okay? In any of the other genres. So we want songs that are in the other genres, right? Where Mr. Songz shows off his voice in the songs. Without the machines, without the auto-tune, we want pure sounds, okay? We don't need quantity. We want quality sounds and messages, quality storytelling, relatable lyrics that are not self-focused, that are listener-focused, okay? The other genres that we need, I showed you what they can do earlier, and we need that again, especially real R&B and songs with the innovativeness that we've seen them make before for us, right? Okay. Problem number 3. Tyler Lewis said that he is peerless when he has the material to match, right? So we know that they are brilliant writers, but it's always beneficial to collaborate with other great writers so the listeners can be found in the lyrics too, right? So the solution here to get them so they can get the material to match, the solution is to collaborate with other great writers who write poetically, imaginatively, people who can capture human essence in word form emotionally in a way that's relatable, because we haven't seen them do this too much in the music, right? Even though we have a song here and there like this, we haven't seen them do it too much, and we need this, okay? So they have enough talent and hard work, and I know this is effortless for them. I just don't want them to be lazy with the writing. Like, I want them to actually tell us to get up and fight for a better life again. Like, give us that confidence again, that despite where we come from, we deserve for our voices to be heard and to develop our gifts and talents and to not be ashamed of where we come from, right? Just like they did in the beginning. The same type of strength, actually. Yeah. Problem number 4. There is limited relatability. So there's limited themes in the music, which means there is a limited appeal, okay? Which means the audience is too small for this kind of thing that they're doing now, right? So the solution here is to expand the themes, expand the stories that we're telling in the music, expand perspectives. A good way to start this is to show compassion for us at the bottom of the world. Majority of the world is at the bottom in the Strugg life, no matter where they are located, right? Majority of the world is in the Strugg life. People are going through all kinds of things. And if you talk about that in the music, that will be greater musical appeal. That will open you up to a greater audience and greater amount of people that the music can appeal to. Here, the music should be too beautiful to ignore or too relatable to ignore, but with Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz, they can do both very well. So that's also a unique advantage of the music that they create, right? So people get comfortable, they get complacent. I'm sorry. I remember that's what he said on My Moment episodes. I'm sorry. I love Dr. Taylor. I love Mr. Songz. I'm just playing. Okay. Problem number 5 is the current features. It doesn't show off Mr. Song's voice. He doesn't say anything to us. We don't like the people he features with. The people contribute nothing to the song. He joins them and he does nonsense things and they say nothing beneficial to us. He joins them and then he says even worse things to us, things that are not meaningful or beautiful. Okay, so the solution here is to calm down on the features or feature with people who can bring out the best out of his voice, right? People like Mariah Carey, Adele, Bay Major, Elijah Blake, the influencers and TikTokers that can match him vocally and musically and give substance to the songs. Okay, so everybody else, you need to calm down on the features. Okay, we don't like them. We really don't like them. Okay. Problem number 6, limited shareability. So the solution here is to have cleaner themes and lyrics. So we will be able to send this beautiful music to people who are hurting and in pain from all that life does to them, right? Especially in the Strugg life. So we want to be able to share the beautiful music. Okay, and we can only do that if it's cleaner. Okay, so this is something I talked about earlier. Like, I noticed that although the music is beautiful, Mr. Song's voice is so unique, I can't share this music with anyone besides the older songs. I cannot share the music with people who are hurting. I can't share it with people who are in pain from all kinds of things that life does to them. People are constantly in pain here in the Strugg life. And that's why we need beautiful music. And this is where it got us from. Like, the lyrics that we're talking about recently is too explicit. And he's not saying anything. So, for example, I cannot share Find a Place, even though it's magnificent, right? There's too few other songs that I can share. So I'm fighting for something real here, okay? I'm fighting for something real. We may never get a voice and music like this again in our lifetime. So I don't know why people are letting him do whatever he wants on the music and nobody is saying anything. Okay? So thankfully I listen to music differently so I can benefit from the comfort that the sound, the production and his voice gives without me paying attention to the lyrics and the message too much, right? So I still feel the comfort of the sound regardless of what the lyrics are saying. But that's just me, right? The majority of people that this kind of music needs to reach, they cannot separate the lyrics from the sound. They listen to the song as just one sound. And they don't hear the separate elements. So they can't look beyond the message in the lyrics. So what we're doing here as a severely limited appeal. And that's why we need cleaner themes and lyrics in the music, okay? Problem number 7. There's a lack of connection with the music. So the solution here is for our musicians to talk to us at the bottom of the world again with cleaner themes, messages that we can understand. And a great example of this is the Birth of Songs demo, right? We want the substance, we want actual situations, and we want hope in the music. We need hope in R&B music, like soul music. We want to be wooed and we want to feel special again as girls in a non-sexual way. Okay? Give some kind of idealism and clean fantasy in the music. This is the global appeal. This is the move to being more legendary. Like the older stuff that they used to make, even the mixtapes, is for us. It's for us underdogs who are reaching for an idea of a dream because we don't even fully acknowledge the idea of the dream, because where we come from, no one has dreams. It's only survival, right? Yet alone reaching for the dream. So it gave that hope and encouragement and motivation, right? In addition to the clean romance and the clean pursuing of a girl, right? There are lots of people who want to hear this. There are lots of people who want to hear this. Like, this is just me being weird, but maybe it's because of the massive global reach that he has. Like, even the countries that are suffering like mine, we are the fans. We are still fans of him, right? We are still fans of him. And this is because he seems to have some kind of social awareness, and he can write R&B in hip-hop language that doesn't seem out of place at all in an R&B song, because they actually write, right? So I kind of expect more depth and a little bit of something revolutionary that speaks to people's difficult situations, especially young people. I expected this by now because this was very present in the beginning. But the way they present it is classy and palatable and very appealing to people like me, right? So this will create the connection again, right? This will create the connection again. Problem number 8. Problem number 8, right? It is that there are limited descriptions of intimacy and romance in the music. The lyrics are not warm or inviting in a romantic way. The intensity of heartbreak songs do not match the intensity of love, intimacy, and affection. Okay? The intensity of love that I'm talking about, like they do heartbreak very well, right? But we don't get the same intensity in the romantic songs, in the romance and romantic songs, right? So the intensity of love that I'm talking about, for example, like Anita Baker, the way she describes love in the most intense ways on her songs, that's the kind of intensity about love I'm talking about that we don't seem to get, right? So the solution here is that we need richer descriptions of love, romance, and intimacy in the lyrics in a cleaner and more appealing way, right? It's easy to come up with this in the writing because you can get inspiration from everywhere, and old literature, Anita Baker songs, Anita Baker songs, and those kinds of things, okay? It's very strange that R&B musicians do not write warmth and intimacy in great detail. But at the same time, this is what makes Mr. Songz a brilliant rapper, which is why I said his musicality is complicated. Both Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz, their musicality is complicated, right? So here what I'm asking for is rich, romantic, embellished emotions about intimacy and romantic pursuit in the writing. When I say writing, I mean lyrics. So we need warm, rich, poetic descriptions of romantic love, the cozy imagery of physical closeness, the romantic story of pursuing and finally holding the person. We want descriptions of electric emotions and heavy desire in the atmosphere, right? We need new vocabulary to describe union and togetherness and all the things that surround intimacy, like descriptions of intimate desire in a romantic and heartfelt way. We want clear and unusual but delicious metaphors to describe intimacy. But at the same time, Mr. Songz has to believe what he sings, because we know when he sings things he doesn't believe. That's how complicated his musicality is, right? It's complicated to understand. So finding the solutions here is not easy. It's not easy. And I just want to say that I want to be a super fan again. But the music needs to gather us. Like, show us everything you showed us in the beginning with the lyrics, voice, unconventional sounds, like Anticipation 2, the Birth of Songs mixtape, demo, the Birth of Songs demo, Chapter 5. We need a well-rounded musical experience outside of this musical cubicle, outside of the musical matrix. We need affection in the lyrics. We need focus to be placed on the listener. Talk to the listener in the 30% that you're going to give us. There are still soft girls, even though life is what it is. And there are dudes who are not heartless in the world. Okay, so they want this kind of music too. There is a demand for gentleness in the music towards girls, because everybody else only talks about wanting our body. Okay, and maybe y'all contributed to that, but you can set a new trend now. Gentleness in the music, like they can set the trend for this. They can see girls for their soul. They can set the trend in the lyrics for making people see that girls are more than just their physical, and they can cater to our heart and our mind, because girls are the majority of the fan base, right? So we know that they are the people who set the trend. So if they do this, every other musician will follow. Whether the musicians are in R&B or not, they will follow. The standard will be set for creating loving and affectionate music, because that's what they do. Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz set in motion things that should be. And that's why they are pioneers, right? That's why they are pioneers, right? So problem number 9, there is seemingly a lack of preludes and interludes on recent work. Right? This is also very unique to them, and nobody does it better. Nobody gives us this exceptional interludes and preludes like this, right? So we need this desperately going forward. So the solution here is to create this for us in a cleaner way, with less sexual lyrics and sounds, right? Like with Chapter 5, it was sexual though, but the sounds, like I'm still so into those interludes, because it's magnificently unique and beautiful. Chapter 5, even I can look past the sexual stuff, but the sound was so beautiful on the interludes. Okay. Problem number 10. There is a lack of clear message in the music. The lack of clear message in the music. So the solution here is to get back to this mentality of creating definitive statements in the music. We need to get back to the original goal of being the most legendary musician of our time. Right? So we know they work too hard, and they work too hard to not have all the things I see for them and not be where I thought they would be by now. Okay? So I want these solutions to help us, right? We need to get back to the mentality of creating definitive statements in the music. Okay. Problem number 11. Problem number 11. There is a lack of profound, more than R&B songs that match his voice, right? So what I mean is that the songs from Ready, like One Love, Love Lost, Unfortunate, the songs from PPP, Chapter 5, Birth of Songs demo, Anticipation 2, besides for those two very explicit songs, And maybe this is too personal that I want more than R&B sounds from them, but this is just what I want to hear from them, right? Another example is Flights and Skype from Anticipation 2. I feel attached to the song. I really like the melody, harmony, I don't know what to call it, right? The unconventional production, and I like how he sang it. It felt like a lullaby, like despite the obvious context of the lyrics, and I do listen to it to relax and feel calm inside, to feel calm inside. It feels beautiful inside. Give us songs that can be lullabies for us without the sexual. We want uplifting, calm. We want to feel good about ourselves after life destroys us for the day. Like, life is war. And we need the comfort for our soul. And we need them to fight for us again in the music. Like, we need Flights and Skype again. Flight and Skype, we need the song again. Same production, same vocals, but we have to change the lyrics. Like we said, go ahead, baby, won't you poke it open? We should change it to, go ahead, baby, won't you heal your soul, girl? Do you see how easy it is to flip it like it's gymnastics? Strugg life, baby, magic. Do you see how easy it is to make non-sexual songs for us with the same intensity and beauty, and make the music you want to make, sing the way you want to sing, produce in the way you want to produce, with lyrics we can relate to, that we can share with everyone, and it's still really beautiful. That shows off his musicality in its entirety. It shows off Dr. Taylor and Mr. Song's musicality in its entirety with the innovativeness, and it still makes us feel beautiful inside. I hope you're seeing how this can expand the business and how you can profit from this majorly. Right? I hope you're seeing that. Like, make Love King mixtape type of songs, Anticipation 2 type of sounds and vocals for good girls. Like less sexual, more romance and uplifting. Like, make the Birth of Songs demo again and talk only about things that relate to the listener. Make Chapter 5 again and do the anti-hero themes. Funny, witty, crazy, menacing but cute lyrics. Make Trigger Mix and rap about our things. I'm trying to tell you that this is their musicality, that the world does not see, and the world needs to hear this from them. Like Dr. Taylor, Mr. Songz, like, you are not alone in this life. And I feel like they want us to see their musicality for what it is and the musicians that they truly are. And we see it. As a listener, I see it and I understand. So they don't need to be frustrated like this, I want them to win massively, which is why I'm providing the solutions. And I do understand the frustrations. But hopefully these solutions trigger, I'll make you a billionaire with all this. I'll make you a billionaire. But you're playing around with lyrics that don't lift you, things that don't elevate you, when you can be a billionaire. You just have to make the music that we like. So the original Flights and Skype appeals to a limited group of people. But if we change the lyrics, it appeals to the global community of girls and dudes who want to be sweet to us. But it appeals to the global community of girls, right? It's like it will become a lullaby for us now. It makes us feel nice inside without feeling awkward about the sexual lyrics. Like, I really love Anticipation 2. But just the lyrics, man. Just the lyrics, man. If we make it more appealing, everybody will see Trey Songz. Because he's talking to us now. He'll be talking to us. We can connect to him now, right? Everybody will share the song and he'll be known for making beautiful music that speak to us. You don't want to be more successful. Like, this takes him out, completely out of the musical cubicle. It takes him out of this musical matrix, right? Truly, truly, and in the best ways. In the best ways, okay? Hey, I'm interrupting the segment to tell you to repent. Stay on repentance. We are Strugg life people. We cannot help ourselves. We need God. We need help in our various situations, and only God can provide the solutions, okay? So stay on repentance. There is hope no matter how disgusting life is, right? Get it right with God and stay on God's side, all right? So you will never be helpless. Okay. have a free repentance ebook, resource book, prayer book in the description. It's 100% free. Just click the link and hit the zeros at checkout and you can get it for free. Go through it and be found in the presence of the Lord continually, all right? Okay. The link is in the description after Dr. Taylor and Mr. Song's information, and then hit $0 at checkout so you get it for free, right? I'll post the link on my community tab a lot. I usually post the link on my community tab a lot, so you can get the link from there too, all right? Peace and repentance. Peace and repentance. Let's get back to solving the problems. Problem number 12. Mr. Songz doesn't seem to be taking advantage of the positionality that he has as a modern day artist, because he's one of the few artists that can reach across generations and reach across continents with influence. All right, he's able to influence people across generations and across continents. Okay, so the solution here, y'all are going to help me with a solution. We need people who can understand social media, who understands the internet and in terms of reach, understands engagement and all that. So if you understand those, we should tell them how they can take advantage of their positionality to reach people across ages, across genres, with beautiful, relatable music that has a good message with their material, right? I talked about this in a previous video, but the way the Trey Songz brand is positioned, the music reaches people across generation, but it also reaches people across geographic locations, right? They can reach across continents. I'm African. We respect and honor them even here. And that's why I'm here fighting for them to be greater. So they are so global, but they don't seem to be taking advantage of it, right? So the only way I can think of right now, while we're waiting for y'all to give us the solution, those who are good with the internet and understand social media, while we're waiting for y'all to give us the solution, this is just one way I can think of right now, is to repost thousands of relatable video memes using funny content and using their music on the background of those videos and flood social media with that. Or they can ask fans globally to make as many funny skits as possible with Trey Songz music or lyrics and then repost all of this on his social media pages. So we get more fan engagement and people will be refreshed with their music, right? The appeal of this to fans and people on the internet is that now they will want to come to Trey Songz social media pages to be entertained by the funny, to see the fans' creativity, and to hear music that they haven't heard in a while, right? Let me just say, as an OG fan, the memes that are circulating that make fun of him are off-putting, okay? I don't like that. It doesn't work to promote his music or his musicality. There is nothing funny or entertaining about it, and it does not add to the growth of his social media to show off his music at all. Okay. Problem number 13, artificial intelligence, AI. Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz has unique advantages over AI. The first being they have existing followers, so they already have this established human connection with fans. The sounds that Mr. Song's voice makes, it speaks, okay? And this is natural talent. Natural talent is always attractive to people. AI does not have an inner voice, right? Every element of the songs that they make speaks. The music that they make can soothe your soul. AI music cannot do that, right? Dr. Taylor's quality of music far surpasses the machines. With Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz, the music is not processed in the way AI music is processed. We can hear all the elements working together magnificently. Okay. The other thing is that AI cannot write songs the way Dr. Taylor writes songs. So if you want to be a musician and a songwriter that uses AI, you still need to go to TTU to learn how to make lyrics crisp and smooth, so you get a better quality song from the AI, right? If you're using AI to make music. AI cannot write like Dr. Taylor. Dr. Taylor is R&B core, and the AI cannot write like that right now. The AI doesn't know what R&B fans want to hear, okay? The lyrics that you get from AI, like Suno AI or ChatGPT, it needs to be reworked to have worthy song lyrics, right? You cannot take the unedited lyrics from ChatGPT or Suno AI and make a song like that with just the raw lyrics from those generators, right? From those generations, right? You can use the ideas, you can use some part of those lyrics, but you still need to know how to write a proper song that's going to give you a quality output. And Dr. Taylor can teach you how to do that, right? The AI cannot, because it cannot hear what the human is hearing. It cannot interpret how the humans will receive it, okay? And I expect you to make music for humans, not for the algorithm. Okay. Another thing is with AI, we're going to see new music genres being created, and music is going to be even more fragmented. The audiences are going to form little clusters on the internet and on AI music making sites based on their specific musical taste. So we may not be so unified in our preferences the way we are with millions of us being fans of Trey Songz music as a fan base, right? There are already people who are only listening to their own AI-made music about themselves because musicians are not talking about real life, right? So I'm telling them to take advantage of their existing audience because we are still here. We just need to be unified with the music again. We want to be gathered to our artist again, right? I know that Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz are not scared of technology because a few years ago, we had an interactive web-based video for Touching Lovin', right? For the song Touching Lovin', we had an interactive web-based video. And you could click different options and be in different rooms and choose options. It was like Matrix. It was like the Matrix. It was like video game style, right? And from this, we should have had a legit video game based on the Trigger album. So with the interactive video, you could see the entire area you were in by moving your mouse. And no one else did it at the time. And I didn't see any other musician do it since. The innovation. You see, even in the music videos, we have innovation, right? So they are not against technology. And I'm sure they can find interesting ways to use AI to make us a part of their world again. They are leaders. They do things no one else does in the most gorgeous of ways. And we need more of this. We need more of this. I still think, back to what I was saying about the Trigger album, I still think we needed a video game. We needed a video game for the Trigger album. We did. Okay. Problem number 14. Limited unconventional sounds. Solution. We want the unconventional sounds like Blind, Love Lost, Flights and Skype, Be Where You Are. We need them to make songs that sound like nothing else out there right now. And this is what Tyler Lewis commented on in the article, right? And we need these kind of sounds again. Problem number 15. In the messages of the songs, I know they are not ignorant people, right? They are very bright and socially aware. But in the messages of the songs, there is a sense of ignorance towards the listener because they're self-focused and they're limited to their own world only. So the solution here is for them to look outside of their own world, to see fans outside of the audience analytics, right? We need them to see us in a qualitative way, see us for the humans that we are in a subjective way, and not just look at the audience analytics. Okay? Not just look at the analytics, but look at the subjectivity of us. Okay. They don't live in the world by themselves, right? The listeners exist too. We live in a different world, and we need music that speaks to that. Like the OG fans, we are adults now, and we need music that talks to that, our experience as adults, right? Problem number 16. Mr. Songz cannot sing things convincingly enough if he doesn't believe what he's singing, right? This is because we hear this. And that's just how his musicality is, and we respect it. But we know when he's singing things he doesn't believe. Okay. So the solution for this is that the songs that they make need to include enough realism in the lyrics so he believes it, so he can authentically sing it, and we'll know he believes it. And we'll hear that. So he has to sing from compassion, either realism or compassion, so he can feel for the listener when he sings about our things in our 30%. Okay. Problem number 17. The music he's making currently has a short lifespan, right? It's not evergreen lyrics or sounds. We can't go back to it over and over again. Okay. So the solution is we need longevity. The lyrics have to speak to people's situations and lives so it can be relevant to people for decades to come, right? The sound has to be timeless, and they've done it before. From the Back Home album, the only song that I managed to interact with was All This Love, and that is an example of a timeless song, right? That's an example of a timeless song. Okay. Problem number 18. Presenting him as a sexual fantasy only. This severely limits them to one set of audience only, right? The solution here is to present him as a person of musical authority, right? When he tells his story, we see that he comes from similar places as us. This means that more of the world is able to take him seriously as a person of musical authority, which means he'll get more fans, right? By presenting him as a person of musical authority, he retains the sexual fantasy audience. He grows the audience based on musical authority and talent and music outputs. The fans know what to expect musically. We'll know to expect multiple genres and themes. We'll know to expect unconventional sounds, right? Presenting him this way feeds directly into TTU. This increases business and music opportunities, right? Beyond touring, beyond performing at concerts, this extremely elevates the business aspect if we position him as a person of musical authority, all right? Okay. So what I'm saying is this has value for fans because we want to support him. He comes from a similar place as us and he's a person of musical authority. We automatically gravitate towards him, right, as fans. But in the music world is also he'll also be seen as more valuable, right? Okay, which is where the business things come in. Okay, I still think that at the point of Tremaine the album, we should have shifted the personal brand from being solely focused on the image of sexual fantasy to being a person of authority in music, right? Because it felt like that in the Playboy video, but it did not come across in the music, right? Like this would have allowed us to cater, and this still can, it still can, allow us to cater to multiple audiences with the multiple genre that they love to create in anyway, and actually people can see him for his musicality, okay? And we won't be confused here as fans. We will know exactly what they are, and we will be prepared for what to receive. We'll know what to expect musically and in terms of a personal brand as an audience. And I'll be even more proud to be a fan because then we'll have quality songs that I can actually share, right? That's how the world should see Mr. Songz. And this is what will allow them to create in multiple genres too. So they won't be frustrated and they won't frustrate us, right? Now, if we rebrand him as a person of authority in music, he will be reaching a much broader audience. He'll be reaching a broader audience, right? More business opportunities will open up, and this directly ties into Troy Taylor University, TTU. It directly ties into this, right? So we'll see him the world will see him as a musical unicorn who comes from similar place as us that dominates in music, both as a musician and a leader in innovative music that we can look up to. Their musicality won't be limited in any way if we present him like this, right? And he will only grow from here. He'll only grow from here. Must I do everything for you? Even with this, they still need to talk to us in the music and not sexually, so they can grow this business and cater to the OG fans and gain more fans, right? We want to know the musician. We want to be a part of the music world, his music world, right? We want the world to see his musical abilities and the fact that he's a musical unicorn. We want the audience to grow till all our neighbors know his name, right? Do you see how we can present him as a person of authority in music and still grow in all areas? And we don't have to stay presenting him as a sexual fantasy. Do you see that? He's a valuable musician, but he's being squashed and stifled into this one thing only to his own detriment and to the detriment of the fans, his business, and all that. We need him to grow out of this and be who he truly is, a musical anomaly that makes music in multiple genres and talks about things we can relate to. We will not find a musician like this again in our lifetime, right? So staying in the sexual fantasy brand and only making music that doesn't mean anything is a massive disservice to us all, including himself, right? I think let me talk more about presenting him as a person of musical authority who comes from the same places as us. So the advantage here, kids like me are going to listen to him simply because he comes from where we come from and he's honest about it. This fulfills the goal of him wanting to make life-changing music, because he always gave the impression that he wants to be more than an entertainer, right? Even with this, the audience, the fans, the listeners, they still need to be trained on what to expect in the music and how to receive the music, right? And what to expect from him. Because we've never come across a musician like this before. We don't know how to receive this and connect to this. So people that are being drawn to him need to be taught how to receive this music, right? This can be done. One way of doing this is by consistently talking to us in the music, referring to the listener's situation, lives, emotions, thoughts, and those kinds of things, right? So by presenting him like this also, the advantage is that it removes him from this musical cubicle. It removes him from the musical matrix, right? While retaining the same audience, okay? The third thing is, number 3, we want to see more of his personality. And by presenting him like this, it will allow him to show us his personality. Like, he's really funny, and the good weird things he used to say on the songs, which we love his personality and all those things we haven't seen since chapter 5. And the mixtapes, right? Okay. By weird, I said good weird, right? Like, people say I'm weird, but I know I'm weird in a good way. Because what I'm doing now is really weird, but it's a good thing, because he's going to be a billionaire because of this. And I'm using my weirdness to fight for more gorgeous music, so we can all benefit from this, including the musicians, right? We know that he's an overachiever, so he overachieved in presenting himself as as a sexual fantasy in the music, right? He overachieved. But if we do it like this, he won't feel so constricted to presenting himself in one dimension only, because this takes into consideration him as a musician and a creative individual, right? And he can talk to us about all of the things we want him to talk to us about. He can do this in multiple genres, across multiple themes, and then the world will actually hear what I hear and see what I see. And they can be even more legendary while giving us the music we need to get from them. Okay? Problem number 19. They are not taking advantage of being the source material, the innovators that they are, and musical pioneers for other artists and musicians. We've seen from them that a seed can make a forest, right? The solution here is because their musicality is too great and complex, they can really take advantage of the fact that what they create is source material for other musicians, artists, storytellers, and media people. The specific solution, I didn't figure this one out yet fully. But y'all are bright, okay? Y'all are bright. We can help them here, right? We can help them so they can give us beautiful music, and they can help other people create amazing work too, okay? Problem number 20. Hannah Giorgis in 2017 said that Mr. Song's magnetic energy has faded. Okay. This is the problem that hurts me the most. To see that people are saying this about him. But it is true, because it explains the separation we felt in 2017, okay? And maybe millions of us felt this globally. And it hurts when we feel this way about our artist. But hopefully we can repair this now, all right? We can repair this. No more tears. Okay. So the solution here for him to get back his magnetic energy is for him to recalibrate and get familiar with his musicality again. Okay? for him to set new musical dreams and goals, for him to find a new musical dream and set new musical goals. To understand what he possesses is a rare gift and the world needs to hear it, right? To talk to fans and about fans in the music. So this will allow us to be friends with the music again. To use his voice and music in a way that really connects to people, even people at the bottom of the world like me, and to create beautiful music, because that's what the world needs. Beautiful music and beautiful things, right? For him to take his music career more seriously, because we rely on the music that they make for hope and beauty in our own lives and in our own worlds, all right? Do you see how much of compassion I'm giving? Because Mr. Songz showed us that it's a good thing to have compassion, even though no one else has compassion where we're from, right? Even though we may be the only people who have it, we should hold on to it and practice compassion, okay? Trigger, we are your people. Dr. Taylor, we are your people. Like, African kids are for y'all. Like, we are for y'all. We are with y'all. Especially those of us that come from the bottom are for y'all. You know? We don't humanize any other celebrity. And we don't care about celebrities like that. Because Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz created this association with us. They got us from the bottom of the world. We don't care about any of their peers. It's just that we need a new songwriting strategy. We need to implement this listener-focused approach. We need a new structure for the music releases. We need them to extend compassion in the writing on globally relatable human themes. While we're here, let me say this, right? Marketing and promoting needs to be reprioritized. Okay. They should prioritize promoting the globally appealing songs that are clean, that shows off his voice and musicality in the most magnificent ways. This also opens up way more business opportunities, performances, and shows, because now he's showing the world that he has a rare musicality without a doubt. And it's on full display. This will cause them to be more in demand as musicians by the global music community and not just the sexual fantasy audience, right? The limited messages in the songs doesn't change anyone's life, right? So the world can't hear you. And I expect them to do better for us. Problem number 21. This is not a part of our 30% that they're gonna give us, okay? But I just wanna chip in here for the album and project strategy and content, right? So the goal here for the albums and projects and stuff, well, album, because I think people, they give awards for albums and not for like mixtapes or something. I don't know how it works, right? So the album, the goal is to be a major label male R&B singer album of the year globally. I don't know how to say it in a way that makes sense in the music world, right? But this is what Tyler Lewis said also, like major label male R&B artist of the year. And I think we can achieve that only through albums, right? So for him to get this recognition in the music world based off of albums, which is not a part of our 30% of beautiful music we're going to get from them, right? The album should be arranged according to genre and theme. There should be less variation in the genres and themes on one project. This would make it more palatable for the listener, more predictability in the music on the albums. This will prevent the mixed bag that Tyler Lewis was talking about. This increases reliability on the music. So this kind of trains the listener on what to expect so they stick to you. So every time they come to the music, they know what to expect in the music, right? They'll know what to expect on the albums every time they come to you, right? So they can form this friendship with the music. Like, we can get this from them, but we need a proper structure, we need organization, we need strategy for the albums and releases. And this needs to be very pleasant and geared towards the listener experience fully, right? Okay. This is not a part of our 30%, but I included it because I want him to be a billionaire. I know I'm being hard, but I cannot consider feeling. Trying to make him a billionaire. I'm trying to get the music we need to get as listeners from Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz. I want to be friends with the music again. I need the world to hear what I hear on good quality R&B and soul songs. Like, we need to show them musicality in the best possible ways. And the musical cubicle, this musical matrix we are in, it doesn't provide sufficient musical attraction for us to pay attention to what they're creating now, right? So we need to turn it around, start this thing from the ground, right? This behavior on the albums is very strange. And I don't know why they do this on almost every album. Almost every album. It's not working for the listener. And I don't like this for them. Because to the listener, it gives unpredictability. It gives confusion. It gives chaos. And people do not like that on one project. We need stability. So for albums and projects from now on, we need to stick to maybe only 2 related themes and only 2 related genres only on one project, with the maximum of 12 songs only, including the interlude and prelude. Maybe 2 interludes, 1 prelude, 12 items on an album only. No more than that on a single project. Okay? That would make sense, and we won't be lost on the albums. And this is the perfect amount for the listener. If we have 1 prelude, 2 interludes, and 9 songs in 2 related themes and 2 related genres only, that's perfect for the listener, right? The predictability will not be in terms of the genres or type of sounds they want to give us, because we have to consider that their musicality is too great, which we love and we appreciate and we need from them. We need more beautiful sounds. So the predictability has to come in terms of the lyrics actually talking to us, the structure and the organization of the albums, and the prevention of having too many genres on one album and too many themes on one album and too many songs on an album. Okay? I'm trying to create predictability here. So when we come to the albums, we know what to expect, right? We know maybe like the genre will be different than the last album and the theme may be different from the last album, but we know we're getting 12 items on an album. We know the structure, like something we can rely on, something we can predict on, that draws us in. Okay, something that we can predict when we come to the music. It creates stability. That's what I'm trying to create here. Stability on the albums. I'm not saying do the same genre on every album. I'm not saying do the same themes on every album, right? That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying, okay? Problem number 22. This is me being emotional again, okay? This is me being emotional again, okay? So the problem, this is for us Trey's angels. There is fragmentation in the Trey Songz ecosystem, okay? We can't help but wait for the music to talk to us again. and we do feel like he's long gone missing, right? So the solution here is to make some songs just for us fans. Like song number 1, Trey's Angels. Song number 2, Angel Love. That would be so cute. Like, those songs can be old school R&B or jazz. And song number 3, Triggers Babies. Like, this has to be rap with a good message for us, because we still Triggers Babies. Okay? Like, this will draw us in again. It will draw fans in again. Tell us who you are again. We want to be a part of the Trey Songz ecosystem again, right? And these songs can do that for us. We need more songs to show love to fans globally, because we don't know if you still love us. Okay? We don't know if you still love us. We don't know if you want us by your side, because this doesn't come across in the music recently. Okay? This would be very, very cute, and we don't want it to be sexual. We want to feel like we are part of Trey's music world again, because we want to be Trey's angels forever, and this will solidify that. Okay? Do you see how we're recreating Trey Songz ecosystem that we want to be a part of? And we're including everybody. We're including everybody. He should also apologize to us for ignoring us and neglecting us and not making music for us and not acknowledging fans from Africa. Okay, he should apologize. Now this would be calling us back. Like, Trey's angels all around the world. Can you hear me? Trey calling us back. Can you hear him? You see how bad we want to be with y'all, Dr. Taylor? Mr. Songz, do you see how bad we want to be with y'all? So we can continue our friendship with the music. I believe in them. I believe in them. I believe in their talents. I want them to take us seriously in the music. I want them to take their music careers more seriously. I want them to be more legendary and aim to take over the world with what they make. And I want them to give us the best in the music. I want them to give us their best in the music. Okay? We need them to create peace with us. Create peace between us and the music. Right? Create peace between us and our musicians that we're a fan of. This is how we can have like peace in the friendship and form the friendship again. Right? Velho Trey Songz musicality, Yankee. Okay. But I think we fixed the problems. I said that Trey Songz musicality is difficult. But Marons het die problema oplos vinniger. Not vinniger, but we've onset die problema oplos. I said we fixed the problems now. I said we solved all the problems now, okay? I wouldn't be doing this if Mr. Songz and Dr. Taylor wasn't their example and if I didn't believe in their gifts. Okay, I would not go to this length of helping us because I don't do this for people. So it means I haven't given up. Okay, we have to redeem everything and more, and I'm trying to get the best for us musically. Okay, the most beautiful, relatable music that only they can make. Like, we don't need them to exhaust themselves to push quantity for us, right? We just want our 30%, 2 to 4 songs a month. They don't need to sacrifice their talents on the altars of meaninglessness, right? For people who do not appreciate gorgeous music. Spend their talent on us. We appreciate it. We appreciate it, right? Beautiful music is simplistic and they can give us pure sounds. Right? So Mr. Songz has a powerful, mature voice. So people are automatically seeing him as a leader, as a spokesperson for us in the music, right? An authority figure. As a voice that can speak for people who cannot speak for themselves. and tell their stories through their music, right? So we already see him as the example, so it makes sense for them to talk to people at the bottom of the world, people who have real problems in the music. That revolutionary thing again, it would be greatly useful to mobilize people for positive change in their own lives globally. Just gotta make it. I think after the Trigger album, we needed to break away from being so self-focused in the music and turn towards being listener-focused. And that didn't really happen for us, right? And I understand it's because their musicality is so great. They let us see into their world, which is exciting for a while. But this lack of listener focus makes us as fans feel unseen and lost in Trigger's music world, because he only shares his world and his perspectives, right? It's a one-way flow of music. But if he integrates our music in the music like this, so if we do this, right? So currently we are in Trigger's world. Well, Trigger is in his world, right? This is his world. We get music from him about his world only. From and about his world only. It comes to us, right? We don't know how to receive it. But the people who receive it are very limited, right? It's a limited appealing, short lifespan music, right? But in the future, if we do this, we have Trigger in his world, right? He incorporates us and sees the lens and kind of sees how we experience the world, right? He must see how we experience the world, creates this music, then it will appeal to us and the rest of the world. I'm talking about a greater global appeal, right? Now we can be friends with the music again if he does this, because it's going to speak to us again, because it's our world in there too. Okay. Do you think it's easy being a fan of a great musician? Do you think it's easy? I have a responsibility, and I take my responsibility seriously. I would have said do a poll on the YouTube page. Do a poll on the YouTube page and ask listeners what they want to hear from you. But that's not going to work for him, because the majority of the audience is liking what he's cooking now. They eat what he cooks now. And we don't want to eat it. So it's pointless to us, because the polls will be advocating for what we don't want. So doing a poll on the YouTube page is a bad idea. Right? It doesn't serve our purpose here. I want to graphically represent this, right? So remember I told you he cooks whatever he likes to eat. He cooks only what he wants. So if we do it this way in Trigger's music house, we have our own space, so he can cook what we like to eat. And we can stay in our space. And he can give us everything we need in our space. He has his own space to cook whatever he likes to eat. And if we like what he cooks there, then we can go over there only if we like it. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. Okay, now we have a system that can work for both us and their musicality. How are y'all surviving this whole time? Kids running around all this house. No one to help you out. Currently we are hungry. We are coming to them for bread. But they're only giving us a mint. 1 mint. Just 1 mint. Do you think that's right? Do you think that's right, Prince of VA? Do you think that's right, Prince of VA? I'm being hard. Am I being too hard again? Here's the example, okay? And he can't be doing this to us now. He comes from a similar place as us. And we have to always keep striving and striving for greater and greater and be the greatest even more and more. And he needs to show us that again, because we all want to be like him. We all want to be like him. It's like I'm African. So we spend our effort, our time, our limited electricity, our limited internet looking for him on the internet, looking for him. And then we hear looking for his music. And then we hear the most useless things in the lyrics. And we hear that he doesn't want to use his voice to sing. And then it's like you think to yourself, why am I following this person? And then I have to remember, he's the role model. And they used to care about what they say in the music. Like, we are not asking them to work too hard. In fact, they can work less. Because this has massive appeal. And the money will make itself. And they'd be talking to us if they do this, you know? Doesn't it feel good? Doesn't it feel proud? Don't it feel good? Don't it feel proud? Don't it feel proud? Like, he taught us how to have a dream and fight for a dream. And I did that. And things that I learned from that dream, I'm using it to come here and help us. To help the person who originally told us to have a dream. The seeds they sowed in us, in here and in here. The seeds they sowed in us in here and in here, back then, is bearing fruit for them now. Because I'm helping them fight for their dream. When they are the ones who showed us that it's a good thing to have a dream despite where we come from. So the seeds they sowed in our minds and in our hearts all those years ago is making a forest now. It's making a forest now. Don't it feel good? Don't it feel proud? You know, how many more kids like me could there have been examples to if the music actually talked to them? Do you see why I'm fighting here? Do you see why I'm fighting here? Listener presentation. The way the music is presented now is not listener friendly. There is no organization on the YouTube page. I see that they try to make playlists on the YouTube page, but it doesn't work for the listener because they're still grouping songs according to the sound. So it seems as if they also listen to music differently, and I think I understand how they listen to it, so it makes sense for them, but not for us as listeners, right? We need organization in Trey's Music House on the YouTube page. I'm African, we access his music on YouTube only, right? And I'm saying this because they create in multiple genres on almost every album anyway. So people are lazy. They are not going to go through 18 songs to find the one song that they want to hear from them, right? In the genre that they like, that actually speaks to them. People are lazy. They want convenience. They want beautiful music that speaks to them in front of their face with just one click only, right? This is just a rough solution because this is the best way I could think of. I couldn't think of any other way to do this, so I'm not confident in this solution, but I'm going to tell you anyway because it's a start and it will spark a better idea, okay? So for our 30%, it should be presented like this so we know where everything is, right? Trigger's Music House, this is how it should be presented to us, okay? The things we like is not easy to find. Top of the World was hidden. If there wasn't a video, I would have probably missed it. I think I mentioned this before, but Inside Part 2, Don't Judge from Anticipation 2, should come with some kind of warning in the beginning or on the cover picture, so innocent fans like me know that it's not for us. That was too crazy. It's absolutely not for us, right? The little parental guidance label that's on some of the projects is not effective at all. We need a bigger trigger warning, right? Because even as an OG fan, realistically, I'm not going to listen to everything because the quantity of music is too great, because their musicality is too great. So everything they say on a song is not going to speak to me or appeal to me realistically, right? Even in the features, like I talked about this before, but in the features we know what he's going to say. He's going to use his beautiful voice and say things that are not powerful, that are not life-changing. And he's not going to use his voice. He tones it down for the features. That's why I said we need to calm down on the features, or only feature with people who bring the best out of his voice, right? And give substance to the songs. So the best way to create some organization that I could think of is to separate by genre. But it can also be separated according to themes, which is why I said this is a rough solution, right? It can also separate by themes. This is free to do on YouTube, because we know he don't like to spend money, okay? So this is free to do on YouTube. So we need to create playlists according to genre, so we know where everything is in the house, right? So now everything will be neat in the house. Everybody is catered to in the house. Everybody knows where everything is. No one is fighting. No one is feeling neglected. The house can be at peace. Nobody is going without anything. Everybody is taken care of. Now can we have unity as a musical family? Can we be friends with the music again? Creating a listener-focused presentation like this will massively expand his audience. This will expand listenership and the audience to a much higher level, simply because of the convenience of finding everything, right? Simply because of the convenience of being able to find what you want on the page, right? Do you see how I'm trying to get them to take over the world with their beautiful music? Do you see that? Okay, so for example, let me give you an example of why we need convenience here, right? For us African kids, it's like the world already obliterated us severely for the day, right? Now, at the end of the day, we come to Trey Songz YouTube page because we want his voice to comfort us after all that we've been through for the day. And now we have to go through so much of music just to find the song where he actually sings to us and makes us feel beautiful inside after all that life does to us. And don't let us click on a song and then we hear fornication. Do you know how sad that is? Do you know how sad that is? We want to hear him sing. Not that, right? What I'm saying is, we need convenience on the page, right? We want convenience. We have to move with what consumers want, sir. We have to move with what the consumers want, sir, which is convenience, right? We also want him to rap. Like, we need rap. We need rap because we need confidence, wordplay, funny, revolutionary ways of thinking, like instill revolutionary ways of thinking in the music. He can use realism as much as he wants here, and we'll appreciate that. He can use realism as much as he wants on the raps. If he wants to try other genres or other sounds, there is a space for that now, and we are open to it because now we understand his musicality is too great and complicated. So we made allocations for that, right? And we know what to expect. 15 years. 15 years. No one else saw this besides Tyler Lewis. No one understands their musicality and defined what's going on here and figured out solutions for these problems. Do you know how much of music we could have had in multiple genres by now? music that actually speaks to us. Like, it's not late or anything. Like, it's not late, it's just something we'll have to get used to and get accustomed to. Well, it's something they'll have to get used to and get accustomed to with being listener focused in their approach, right? But we learn and we live and we grow. We can establish a good thing through the fire and the flames. We can establish a good thing, right? We look up to him. We look up to him. Okay, and it feels like he wants to be silent. He doesn't want to sing anything to us in the music. Like, we were following him and he left us behind. That's how it feels. Like, he doesn't want to make music for us at the bottom of the world. You know, people do not expect me to be an OG fan of his because of who I am. And they are always surprised because they don't know he comes from the same places as us, right? And here we really like the revolutionaries in music. So, like, they never really saw that side of his music and his personality, right? They see him as every other artist, which is a problem. They need to see what they are capable of musically, right? That's why we desperately need increased relatability, increased shareability, increased listenership. Because I don't want the world to miss out on what Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz can give us, right? I really don't want the world to miss out, right? They work really, really hard. And with a few adjustments, giving us our 30%, the world will see them. But things need to change around these parts here. Things need to change. If the world sees them, the world can buy from them, right? And maybe I'm asking for a lot. But you need to bear in mind that maybe we do listen to other people's music sometimes when we have the time and the mental capacity for other people's voices and sounds. But we are not influenced by those people, right? So whatever those people say on the songs, we can't take it seriously. But whatever Mr. Songz says on the songs, we do take it serious. It means something to us because we are influenced by him, right? We are influenced by him only. We are not influenced by the others. They are just entertainers to us. We don't really care about them as people because they didn't get us from the bottom of the world, right? So it doesn't mean anything. Okay. I like his voice more on classic old school R&B and maybe even soul from him, where he really sings and shows off his voice. The piano and his voice again, that's beautiful. That is so beautiful. That is the epitome of what beautiful music is. Piano and his voice, right? But I don't think we need to be sexual. We can be like, I don't think we need to be sexual. We can be romantic and pursuing of a girl, right? We can have more messages for youth in the Strugg life. We can do so much more than that. It can be much more than that. I truly see endless possibilities for them. This is just the beginning for Mr. Songz and Dr. Taylor, and I'm only saying all of this because they have great quality work. The quality they produce is gorgeous, and they are more than capable of achieving more and more greatness, and that's what I want for them. And I would like to see more pureness of sound and quality music with brilliant messages and themes that they are more than capable of giving us. Okay?